Hello everyone, I'm Jahazian Abu, and it's been a minute since I have just sat and shared some poems with you, and so I thought, why not today, right? I'm going to share some poems from my latest collection of poetry called Anybody Ask You Who I Am. And right now I'm selling it on, just selling it as a PDF. I don't have a hard copy of it, but I'm just selling the file. And these are just a few of the poems. But right now you can get it for nothing, just for the watch. Anyway, I am reading it from my notebook. I should be reading it from my computer where I could give you titles, but I'm not. And you will deal. Hey. So let's get started. She walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around her man, except that ain't her man. He don't belong to her. He belong to himself. He share himself wherever he wants. She his though. She all his. Can't breathe without permission. He raped her on the couch, been kicked out of her bed. She worked 2 jobs and better be home on time. If not, she know she gonna get it. She know he bet not have to explain what it is. Baby growing in her belly. She tell him she can't carry a baby born of rape. Say she gonna handle the business in a day or 2. He say that's his blood. Say if she take one of his, he got every right to take one of hers. Take her mama while she on her way to work. Take her sister right off the school playground. Take her daddy working late one night. Now what? Now what she gonna do? He say ain't no need thinking about leaving, ain't going nowhere with his blood. He say if his blood come up missing, her blood come up missing too. Say she should feel lucky, his seed growing in her, making her a woman. Yeah, right. This next poem was called Service. I opened the door for the gas man to turn my oven on. Get this bacon frying again, me in my pink sundress and head shaved just so. Gas man came in and stared at me like he know I'm looking good. Shit, I know it too. He don't say a word, just stare. I show him to the kitchen, then go about my business writing poems on my couch. He taking longer than is cool, and before I know, he's standing right in front of me, looking down at me like he's somebody's daddy. He asked me if I got cancer or something sad and scary like that. I tell him no, just being my own fly self. He tell me a woman's hair is her glory, or did my mama tell me? Ask me what kind of woman I think I am. Ask if I'm trying to be a man. All this inside me I want to say, but I gotta figure out his particular kind of crazy. What if I respond and he slapped me across my face? What if I remind him my bald head ain't none of his business, got nothing to do with him? What if I had a man or a brother, or at least a cousin, come get him out my house? What if my say was enough on its own? But I just smile, just thank him for his service. I just wonder why I pay all the bills all by myself. Wonder why my body can't just be. It's actually a true story. To the women who, To the women who pray to the breeze when the silence has become too much. The way the voices flood, there are days when quiet is a wolf, chasing me through a field, shouting deadly ideas. On my way home from teaching poetry one night, I was on the 60 headed to Pomona. Had to pull over in Montebello because of the demons in my back seat. There were faces I couldn't see, with voices, candy as a dream. Everybody loves candy, right? So I believed them when they suggested I swerve a little to the left, face the truck coming right at me, said I would go quickly, easy as silk. What a beautiful corpse I would make. Everybody wants to be beautiful, right? I scared myself the way I believed, how much sense they made, but the voices knew my whisper of a name, said it sweet as corn, sweet as corn. This next one, it does have a title, but I don't remember what it was. La la. He holds the loud of my love, safe in his protest, careful as a boy with a bubble and a sword. He ain't nobody's boy. He be drumming my blues away. He a man. Mama, I got me a man, ain't afraid of my blues anyway. Monsters ride with me, telling me to forego tomorrows. Say death the best rest yet. He be daring them demons to take off them mask. He be baiting them, y'all, calling them punk-ass bitches and shit. On my darkest days, I turn off. What is it? Let me see. On my darkest days, I wrap up in a robe like I am the something to hide. He say, baby, please, you ain't got to change a goddamn thing. Next poem. And so what of joy? What of food? What of the taco truck on La Brea and Venice, because cheese is important too? A man I thought I could have grown to love chose crack over me. I know it was not about me. I was hurt anyway. Had to steal back my Impala from the snooty fox, back of my t-shirt bloody from the abortion. And so what of ugly, of my ugly versions of myself I have been to other people, ways I have bullied, have abused, have pawned the unhealed parts of myself onto him. Too many hymns to mention, the random hymns, the ones that came and went. Too many went, I went too. And what do I tell my son of all of my going? About the night I tried to leave forever, told myself that he would be better off. The voices all agreed. It took me 9 months to apologize. I tried to explain to him the heavy of my sadness that night, and on many nights before. He told me honest as he could. Said it was okay, said he understood. I hope he never understands. Ain't I a whole person? Ain't my whole life important too? Is my life just the sum of my mistakes? But what of my beauty and dedication, of my loyalty and the priceless friends I have? What of that? What of all the ways I am othered, all the ways I like myself in the face of all the othering? What about my big love for me, for the ways I touch you, touch myself too? Don't I deserve my own touch too? And what about pleasure? And what is the distinction between pleasure and joy? Ain't I worthy of joy, of a smile? What of the song of myself, what I see when I look into a mirror, the battlefield of emotions going on inside my head? Brother called me his wisdom, told me to call him God. But what about me? What about the I am that I am? The I am who lives inside? Can a woman be a God too? Can a man run my bath too? What of the ways I weigh what you think of me over how I value myself? My good time, my girlish grin, my unpainted toes, even the anxiety, even the depression, even the moods, many as they be. What if all the days I cancel the brunch, decide against the shower and the laundry and the dishes, all the ways I choose not to contort myself, stretch my skin and bones to fit into your flask like a secret in your pocket? And what of this new day, when my good no is holy and law, when my yes is freedom and God? Yes, this a whole sweet life, ain't it? A whole canvas I paint. I paint by myself with God. This next poem is super duper short. I am stronger than you think, prettier than I will ever, no, not prettier. I am stronger than you think, pettier than I will ever admit. Told you it was short. Because sometimes I can be petty. because we can't take the high road all the time. That does us no good. Trust me. Say her name. Say her children's name, her mother's name, her father's name too, because she had a father, a black man, angry at the world, scarring his own face, wiping his vinegar tears, carrying a grief heavy as this, couldn't save his baby girl from the police, from her lover, from this land on which we live, where patriarchy is law, is God, is king, is rule, is right, where a body gotta go to just be a girl, to grow into a woman who is also a revolution. And the highest revolution is a free black woman. Are you afraid, brother? Afraid, president, officer, landlord, mechanic, doctor? Afraid to hear a woman out? Afraid of her story from her own mouth? Hear her dreams hiss through her own teeth? Can a sister dream like you dream too? Can a sister get paid like you get paid too? Can a sister preach like you preach too? Can a sister walk the street without you fixing her face? Can a sister live and know her face ain't broken? Let's see. This next poem is called George Floyd and All the Rest. I am a cactus, a storm of thorns on fire. There is nowhere we can be together and scream and yell together, pouring out our infuriated guts on social media because that is the holiest temple we have to be together. And we ain't even free here. Not here either. Not work either. Not on a plane or a bus or even in our homes. We have to get naked here. This is not a safe space for us to be disrobed, but here we are. White folks recording our every word, boss man looking on too, principals and school teachers too. Dear white people, please imagine how life must be for us right now. Imagine the muscle it must take for us to take care of you, especially those of you who are our friends, because you are appalled too at the state of this great nation. What you see every now and then on the news is what we live and fear every day. This is the normal we know. We are tired. We know that some of you love us and want to express your anger too. Respect the silence of your black friends right now. We do not have a shoulder for you to cry on. Go home. Talk to your parents and children. Go home. Talk to your neighbors and your bankers, your politicians and preachers. Scream what you say to us when you creep into our inboxes. Your people should know too, should feel the fury too. Imagine a black man rapes your daughter and then cuts her head off and then douses the rest of her body in fluid and then strikes the match. And then, let me see, I got that mixed up. And then strikes the match. And then her body all up in flames. And all of this happens on film. And then he goes free. And this isn't the first time this has happened, because just a month ago, a black man went into your church and killed your pastor and other members. And he gets arrested, but on the way to the jail, the police pull into a Burger King to feed him because jail food sucks. And that's not all. See, your name, like your grandmother's name, is Tiffany Daniels. And so every time you turn in a job or a loan application, yours gets put to the bottom by the black secretary. And I'm not finished yet, because every time you see your black doctor, he doesn't believe you, doesn't believe what you are complaining about. And now you have lost your job where you were a great speaker but earned half as much as the black man who gets booked with you. Because now there is a pandemic and there is no room for you. Now there is a pandemic and there is rent forgiveness, but for some reason not for you. And now imagine a black man just killed your mother and your dog, shot them in the head in the middle of the street. And you know in your blood that he is going off. He was going to get off because black men always get off. And now all of your family is gathering and I show up with my collard greens and cornbread and seasoned chicken and sacred black tears wetting up the whole room, talking about the wicked world we live. Well, my friend, it's kind of like that. This next poem is called Juju. And to you, the making of my conjure, I give the basket of my trust. You are the memory I had one dawn, a hand pressed against my belly, a birth thus into being that night beneath the lightning. You, ever the thunder, wrap your good arms around my body. I am safe. I am seen. I am safe. Tattooed into my knowing. You are my favorite. Forgive. Forgive myself for not loving myself enough to know you then. I haven't really read some of these poems in a minute. It seems like, I guess you can tell. This next poem is called Swan. Every day I scrape away mounds of soot, black and oily, caked and dry in patches. There are many patches of memories blocking my now. I thought my past was a stool I could stand on to see clearer. Turns out it is a spiked electric hill of metal wires, daring me to have a life without its teeth, biting into my heels and calves. But my feet are calloused enough by now to dance on top the thorns. See these toes, where they point and hold my body fine. See these great big legs of mine, steady and firm, these muscles toned from critique and shame. What a strong and pretty duckling I became. Hey, hey. This next one is true too. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's true. But I do giggle when I think about this. In 1988, when everyone in my circle called me by the name my mother gave, I worked as a sales associate at the Limited Express in the Lakewood Mall. I walked in one day and Jennifer, with the blue eyes and curly blonde hair, yelled all the way from the back, "Look at Robin and her Bo Derek braids." And every black woman, especially a black woman who is also a poet, knows when and how and whether or not to respond to her white coworker, especially about race, especially about hair, about the coup d'etat that is our hair, that is to say revolution, that is to say rebellion, that is to say the world's rebellion, revolt against our hair, because our hair is just hair. Our hair is only a controversy when we decline your fingers' touch. But then in 1988, I was still a girl knocking at my womanhood. 18, still evolving my poetic structure and perfect clap back. But this is 2020. I have given birth to a whole child. I have stood on stages sharing stories throughout this land. 2020 is not the limited. My hair is not Bo Derek, my name no longer Robin. In 2020, my black body dares a white woman in the back of the store to call it out again. This next poem, I don't know the title of it either. So you have to get the book to, get all the titles. How about that? Slow me into this wall, sure to come. Splatter my head cotton as you can. As I wake from this dream of you, let me remember your touch, your fingers and tongue, your lips and calves. Make me believe I will see you again. Tell me your sweetest lie. I don't know. I have plenty more poems, but that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Check me out, more poems or more videos at Patreon. You can go to www.patreon.com/Jahazainabu. And that's JAHAZAINABU. You'll be able to see it. I love y'all, and make it a great day. Why not, right?